Hey everyone, before we dive in, hit that subscribe button to join the channel and never miss a story like this. You can't even cover your own rent. Sarah, what have you accomplished in your life? Dad's words sliced through, the chuckles like a blade. Mom chimed in, grinning slyly. You're pushing 30 and still acting like a kid. If you'd settled down with someone who made it big, we wouldn't have to cringe at family gatherings. If your relatives have ever ridiculed you, stick around until the finish. This one's gonna resonate hard. Remember to like, share, and subscribe. The room hushed for a beat. Then my brother Liam burst out laughing loud, enough for all to catch. Come on, Mom. She's just sorting herself out. She might amount to something by 50. His wife Olivia snickered, ducking behind her wine glass like it was a shield. My hands shook beneath the table, but I held my grin because they had no clue what was headed their way. They figured I was broke, frantic, unemployed, just the shy daughter who never measured up. I'd allowed that misconception for 2 years while I crafted something none of them could imagine. As they dismissed my modest web ventures, I was quietly inking deals worth 6 figures and controlling assets that could transform their worlds. But this evening wasn't about cash. It was about reality. The sight of my father reclining, arms folded, eyeing me like a letdown, it seared inside me. You've always been the letdown, he murmured. Your brother gambled big. You played it safe and ended up broke. I glanced up, locking onto his icy stare. My tone stayed steady. You positive about that? The table went mute. Liam snorted. Oh, come on, Sarah. What do you do with your days? Toss inspirational sayings online and label it a career. I grinned. A gradual, subtle grin that made him hesitate. The ironic part about achievement, I replied. It doesn't always broadcast itself with fanfare. Mom squinted. What exactly does that imply? I eased back, letting my statement linger thick in the air. It implies the person you labeled worthless could be why this family still has a roof overhead tonight. Their chuckles vanished in an instant. Utensils halted halfway to mouths, and for the first time they truly saw me. Like they were grasping, they had no idea who I turned into. The quiet dragged on. Then Dad's tone lowered, wary. What are you getting at, Sarah? I drew a deep breath and held his look. Let's say that loan from last year, you might want to learn who gave the final green light. The blood left his cheeks. And that's when reality began shattering their flawless facade. Dad's grip stiffened on his glass. What do you mean? He demanded, his voice suddenly edged. Mom's grin wavered, and even Liam quit smirking. For the first time, I commanded their complete focus, and it felt empowering. I'm telling you, I said deliberately, the bank didn't okay your loan due to your history. They okayed it because someone backed you, someone with solid business income and clout to secure it. I stopped, observing bewilderment warp his expression. That someone was me. Liam chuckled uneasily. You, Sarah? You don't even hold a proper job. Yeah, I said, inching closer. That's what you've always assumed, isn't it? That my digital venture was merely a pastime. That my all-nighters counted for zilch. You believed I was squandering my days while you constructed your legitimate path. He rolled his eyes. Quit acting like you're some hidden tycoon. I laughed lightly. Acting? You truly think a pastime funds 2 offices in downtown Portland? The room hushed once more. Mom blinked rapidly, struggling to absorb what she'd heard. You're fabricating, she breathed. You don't even own a vehicle. That's because I don't require one. I said evenly. I control 3 corporate cars and a shipping lineup. Dad's jaw clenched. This is absurd, he barked. What are you aiming to show? I stared right at him. 0. You all dedicated years branding me idle, worthless, and foolish. I kept mum because I didn't crave your approval. But tonight, I'm done staying quiet. Liam leaned in, his voice hushed. If you're thriving so much, where's the evidence? I grinned. Timely question. I dipped into my bag and set a bundle of gleaming keys on the table, all eyes fixed on them. Those are for the fresh home, the one I recently purchased? Mom blinked. A home? Adjustment, I said, cocking my head. A sprawling estate. 5 bedrooms, waterfront. Vista, settled in cash. The color fled her face as she glanced at Dad, hunting for words. But I wasn't finished. Recall, when you claimed no one here would ever depend on me? Turns out you already did. Liam's tone grew protective. You want us to swallow this? You're fibbing to shame. Us? I drew nearer, my voice serene, but sharp. You shamed me for years, openly and relentlessly. But the amusing aspect of underdogs. I halted, extending the instant. We always surge exactly when you least anticipate. Dad gripped his fists. You're faking. Am I? I murmured. Inspect the name on your loan docs. His face blanched. Mom inhaled softly, hand over her mouth as he yanked out his phone, swiping with unsteady fingers. The quiet thickened. Then his eyes bulged. He lifted his gaze to me, stunned, baffled, and nearing terror in his expression. And before he could utter a word, I said, gently, you wanted to label me worthless. Let's discuss who truly holds this house. Now. Dad's hand quivered as he navigated his phone. Then he gazed up at me, his face void of color. Your name, it's on the title, he faltered. Mom's utensil clanged against her plate. Liam's smirk at last vanished. No way, he muttered. How did you pull together that cash? I smiled subtly. While you were occupied dismissing me for lacking a genuine gig, I was forging something tangible. The platform I launched 2 years back. It's now among the leading gig sites nationwide. We hit 1 million members last month. Mom blinked, her voice unsteady. 1 million? Yeah, I said softly. And each time someone books a task via it, I get a slice. Liam snorted, scrambling for ground. You're inventing this, Sarah. You've always been theatrical. I stayed silent. I just retrieved my phone, loaded my finance app, and pushed it over the table. His mouth fell open at the sight of the total, a number with more zeros than he'd ever had in his own. Dad's voice broke. How could you hide this from us? I locked eyes with him steadily, because when I had zilch you all chuckled. When I attempted, you dubbed it a farce. You only showed interest when you figured it served you. So I quit, justifying myself. The atmosphere grew weighty. Mom murmured. We were simply trying to motivate you to improve by labeling me worthless, by stacking me against Liam daily. I questioned. You didn't motivate me. You demolished me. But the ironic twist is the harder you pressed, the tougher I grew. Liam's wife, Olivia, cleared her. All right, but why flaunt it now? If you're faring so well, why humiliate your kin? I shifted toward her gradually, because this meal wasn't about kin. It was a spectacle, another shot to belittle me before all. You summoned me to feel dominant. I attended to shut that down. Dad's eyes thinned. And what? I leaned in, my tone firm but chilled. This charade where you act in charge ends today. Everything shifts. I'm not the fragile one anymore. Liam folded his arms. You figure wealth elevates you above us? No, I said, rising. But it liberates me from you. The table fell utterly still. Only the wall clocks tick echoed. I grabbed my bag and began to exit when Mom's voice fractured. Sarah, wait. I pivoted, facing her watery eyes. You claimed I was a weight, I said, gently. Now you're lounging in my house, consuming meals funded by my earnings, while dubbing me worthless. She parted her lips, but nothing emerged. I offered her a week sorrowful grin. Meals concluded, and as I headed for the door, Dad's voice quavered behind me. Sarah, hold on. We have to chat. I halted briefly. Now you seek dialogue? I said quietly, amusing how that surfaces only when you grasp who's truly steering. I emerged into the crisp evening breeze, liberated for the first time in ages. But what I hadn't anticipated was that this meal wasn't the finale. My relatives had one final move. I stirred the next morning to a barrage of alerts. My mom had rung 10 times. Liam texted, we must convene. It's regarding the house. My gut nodded. I recognized that vibe. When they couldn't dominate me feeling wise, they'd pivot to law. Predictably, descending the stairs, a white envelope was affixed to my door. A formal notice, my name bold atop. I ripped it open and my pulse halted. It was a filing from my own kin alleging I'd deceptively shifted property ownership. I chuckled sourly. So this defines family to them now. Right then my phone buzzed. It was Dad. Sarah, we hated resorting to this, he said in a phony, serene voice. But you deceived us. You're aiming to disgrace your own flesh. I didn't deceive anyone, I said icily. You just can't bear that I triumphed solo. Then demonstrate it, he retorted. Court in 2 days. Hull, your proof. The call cut. My hands trembled, but not from dread or shock. My own kin were hauling me to trial over the house I acquired, the house they'd mocked. Last evening, for the following 2 days, I'd barely rested. I compiled every paper, every tax form, bank transfer, agreement. My attorney, Jordan, repeated, Sarah, they lack a leg. It's a bluff. But inwardly, I understood my kin. They'd fabricate, distort, and scheme if it preserved their ego. The hearing day dawned. Entering the courtroom, I spotted them, my parents. Side by side, Liam next, cocky as always. He reclined and muttered to Dad, sparking shared chuckles. I settled in, maintaining my poise. Jordan leaned close. When our moment comes, stay silent until I cue you. Allow them to dig their hole first. The judge arrived and proceedings kicked off. Liam's attorney rose theatrically. Your Honor, this individual duped her aging folks, exploited their faith, and illicitly shifted assets. My mom bowed her head, feigning sobs. My dad patted mock tears with a hanky. It was pure theater. The judge faced me. Miss Sarah, your plea? Not guilty, I stated solidly. My voice held firmness. Time. They unveiled their supposed proof. Printouts, doctored messages, even a tampered email chain. It nauseated me. But Jordan murmured, let them wrap up. They're simplifying our task. At last, our side. Jordan rose leisurely, approached the front, and declared, evenly, Your Honor, my client holds the property lawfully, and we can verify in 10 seconds. The courtroom stilled. My family's arrogant looks started crumbling. Jordan extracted a slim dossier, flipped it open, and displayed a paper bearing the judge's mark. This, he said, is the formal sale deed. Complete payment via wire from her confirmed enterprise account. He pivoted to my father. Mr. Harrison, care to clarify why you penned this gratitude note praising your daughter for rescuing your loan? Dad's face ashed. The judge's gaze sharpened. Mr. Harrison, did you authorize this? Dad stammered. I don't remember. Care for the video evidence? Jordan cut in, smiling subtly. The whole room inhaled. Sharply, Dad blinked as Jordan aired the brief recording. Dad clasping my hand, thanking me for preserving their home. The judge appeared livid. So you perjured yourself? Mom hissed. Richard, speak up. But he just locked up. Liam pounded the table. This changes nothing. Jordan grinned. Oh, it changes all. And here's the kicker. Your brother's firm emails reveal he attempted forging the title shift overnight. The courtroom buzzed with whispers. Liam reddened. You can't substantiate that. Jordan patted. The dossier. Already have. The timestamps. Align with the bogus filing you tendered. The judge hammered the gavel. Case. Thrown out. Assets lawfully Miss Sarah's. And I advise the remainder to steer clear. Of her. I breathe out gradually as the space swirled with murmurs. My parents. Dodged my gaze. Liam bolted, grumbling. Profanities softly. Outside, sunshine. Struck my face like liberty. Jordan faced. Me. You managed that masterfully. I smiled weakly. No, I just ceased, allowing them to dictate the story. As I departed, my phone vibrated once. More. A message from Dad. We just wanted you back home. I eyed it briefly, then erased its sands. Response. Some homes aren't worth the return. Because that evening at the table, they branded me worthless. But today the world witnessed precisely